everybody, and welcome back to Aamsuntitledpodcast. I'm Am. Hi, if you've never met me before, it's really nice to meet you. Welcome to my Percy Jackson dedicated podcast. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the top 7 moments in Heroes of Olympus. So basically, my favorite Percabeth moments in the entire Heroes of Olympus series. So let's get started. I'm honestly so excited for this today. Let's do it. So the first moment that I've put up there, by the way, they're not in a rank order. There's just 7 great moments that I've pulled out because I physically can't rank them because I just can't. Rick has made the choices just too impossible, and I just can't pick one. So the first moment is when Percy and Annabeth are finally reunited in Mark of Athena, and the first thing that she does is judo flip him and threaten him. Yeah, I love Annabeth. She is my ultimate favorite female fictional character, and something about Annabeth is that she is so unpredictable, and I really love that about her. She has her own unique way of showing her love for him, and I guess judo flipping him is her way of showing her love. I love it. I really respect her for that, and she's an absolute queen for it. And it really made me laugh when I read the books. I'm not gonna lie, I really enjoyed it. Oh my gosh, I love Annabeth. She's great. She's so funny. The second moment that I wanted to point out was the scene where Annabeth throws her dagger into the sea to call Percy for help. I think that is also in Mark of Athena. I think. And Percy comes out the water, and the first thing that he says is, "You drop this." And, it's just so funny because it's like she knew that Percy would get the signal that she's in trouble, and he came straight to come and get her. And I think that's so cute. And then directly after he comes out the water, the first thing she does is she says, "I love you." And I think she hugs him, and it's just so cute. Like, these guys are just pure feels, and I just adore them. They have just this, oh, they're like this, I don't know how to describe it. They're like their own force in nature, and I love that. I think they're amazing. Um, yeah, just the way she just threw the dagger into the sea. Like, when you read that moment in the book, like, even I was a bit like at first, like, why is she throwing her dagger into the sea? Like, that's not a way to call him for help. But somehow he got the hint, and I guess that's what soulmates do. They just understand signals, I guess. I don't know. It was just really interesting, and I just had to put that moment in there because I love it. It's great. The third moment that I wanted to point out is the scene where Annabeth and Percy are talking about the fact that they've known each other for 12 years. No, not for 12 years, for God's sake, since they were 12. That's what I meant. And, she admits to him that she's liked him since they were 12. And it's been really obvious. Like, if you really, really read the books, like the first 5 really well, there's so many moments. Even though the books are written from Percy's perspective, there have been a lot of hints towards this relationship, particularly on Annabeth's side. There's been multiple times where she's flirted with him and he's not even realized. And, I love that their situation is like, that meme, she fell first, but he fell harder. Like, that's just Percabeth, like, in a nutshell. And I love that for them. And, the way Rick created this relationship, and, now that they're older and they're looking back on those years and how much their lives has changed and what they've been through together, and this love that she's had for him, like, I don't think, like, in the first 2 books she realized it as much, but in, like, after Titan's Curse, things got a lot more serious. And of course, like, in the 4th book, when they were finally together, that was like, whoa. Sorry, I just thought I heard a weird noise. What's that? Oh my god, this always happens when I'm trying to record. There's always some weird noise. So I can either sit here and try and work out what that noise is, or I can carry on. Yeah, I'm going to carry on. Sorry, not in the 4th book. They don't get together in the 4th book. They get together in the 5th book. But obviously, like, in book 4, there's a lot of her feeling quite jealous and things. And yeah, I like the way that Rick put it. Like, it was a slow burn, and I promise it was worth all the torture to get these great moments in Heroes of Olympus. Like, I look back and, like, how frustrated, like, I got when I was reading the books for the first time, because I was just like, I just want them to be together. Like, what do I have to do to get them together? And yeah, of course, Rick definitely serves some great moments. Um, the fourth sort of one that I wanted to talk about was, the scene at the end of Mark of Athena where Annabeth um is dangling off the edge of the ship, and she's being pulled down, and she tells Percy that, like, let go, like, you're not going to be able to pull us both up. And he says, you're not getting away from me, never again. Like, the guy is willing to fall into the depths of, why can I not talk today? This word vomit is killing me. The guy is willing to fall into the depths of, why speak today, the depths of Tartarus than live without her. And they do. And they both fall into Tartarus together. And that moment, honestly, was not funny. Like, can I just say, like, I got to the end of Mark of Athena and I was bawling my eyes out because I was like, what is this? Like, Rick did not just kill my favorite ship and two of my favorite characters in fictional history in one book. I goes, that's not possible. Like, why would you do that to me? So, yeah, I did. I cried a lot at the end of Mark of Athena, but we'll talk more about that when we reread Heroes of Olympus together. But yeah, that I remember that book. And then Rick wrote, I think it's in the start of House of Hades, that he was sorry about the cliffhanger, but he wasn't sorry at the same time. I was like, yeah, that cliffhanger really killed me, guys. Honestly, I was like, what? I ran straight for the next book. Like, I need to know what happens. I'm sorry. I think it must have been really late at night as well, but I started the books. I just wanted to know what happened to the two of them. But thankfully, touch wood, sorry, spoiler if you haven't read it before, they survive. Um, the fifth moment I wanted to talk about is the scene as they're falling into Tartarus, where Annabeth tells Percy that she loves him, and I think she wanted, even though she said it to him before, she wanted those to be her last words. And oh my gosh, I don't know what to say. Like, my heart, I think my heart exploded at that moment. So I was just like, wow. I think, like, in all these years of loving Annabeth, like, I think one of the reasons why I love her so much is because she reminds me a lot of myself. Like, I see a lot of myself in her. And, like, these feelings that she was having for Percy, I never thought that she could love somebody like that. And I think I might have mentioned this on the podcast a few episodes ago. And like, I never thought that she could love somebody so passionately. And I'm so happy, like, of course, that she had those feelings for Luke initially, where she loved him, and of course, like, things didn't really work out, and of course Percy came in and he changed whatever love that she had for Luke, just went out the window when she met him. And I just thought that that moment was so beautiful. Like I said, I cried. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I did shed a couple of tears, which is ironic because I'm not really that emotional. Like, in real life, like, things don't really phase me, but when I read Percy Jackson, I don't know what it is, but like, the tears just start falling and they won't stop. It's quite embarrassing actually. I was so happy I was not in the train when I was reading those books because I think I would have embarrassed myself really badly. But yeah, that just had to be in the top seven because I was like, that's just an insane moment, and it's written so beautifully, so simply, but it's just stunning. Like, oh, shippers' hearts just died, I think. The next, I think this is the second to last moment, yeah. So moment number six that I want to talk about is, I think this is in House of Hades, I believe this moment is, and I can't remember what Percy does. See, this is why I need to reread the books, guys, because like, they're all kind of over my head at the minute, which is why I've been rereading them. I haven't got to House of Hades yet. These are just the quotes that I've pulled over the years. And I can't remember what Percy does, but some reason him and Annabeth get separated. I think they're fighting a monster or something. I can't remember. And the quote is, "You promised, Seaweed Brain, we would not get separated ever again." And he says, "You're impossible." And she says, "Love you too." Take a moment to appreciate, like, they've had this really serious moment and they're arguing, and Percy just thought that he was trying to protect her and she didn't like it, and she says that she loves him. You know what? Their fights are even cute. Like, I've got to admit, like, even when Annabeth was getting all jealous, like, I find it really funny because I'm just like, she's just hilarious. Like, I'm you know what I think why people resonate with this relationship so much, and I think why I love it so much, is because it's very grounded and it's very relatable. Like, as cute as Percy and Annabeth are, and as um you see, the word vomit's kicking in again. It's like they have some really great moments, but I think it's also important that friction is a part of relationship as well, like tension, arguments. That's all parts of relationships. And I love that Rick doesn't miss that out. Like he always makes it obvious to the audience that look, they're just a normal couple at the end of the day. Like yeah, they live in this fictional universe, but at the end of the day, they're still a couple that have these fights and disagreements. And I love that he puts those in there. It's great. And like even if the fights are not like that serious, like this one wasn't a serious fight. She was just annoyed at him because he'd broken his promise that they wouldn't get separated. And she's always going to hold him to that promise that he made her in Mark of Athena, that look, you and I, we're never going to get separated again. She's going to hold you to those words, and I love that about her. She's great. Oh my gosh, I love that moment. I like House of Hades is such an insane book. Like there are so many things that happen in that book, but it's moments like this that I love. Like the simple moments where Percy and Annabeth are just arguing. I find it really funny, and I'm sure I'm not the only person that feels that way about their fights because they're too cute. They're too cute, and obviously the final moment that I wanted to talk about is one that I talked about in the previous episode. I went into a bit more details. I'm going to try and summarize it up here. Is the scene when Percy kisses Annabeth in the place where their parents' rivalry started. And, he says, the rivalry ends here. I love you, wise girl. And, I think he wanted to just cement this idea, not only to her, but us as the audience, that he doesn't care about anybody else's opinion about their relationship. Like, the only thing that matters to him is her and her happiness and her safety. And I love that about him. Like, Athena, like, I might have talked about this in the last episode, but Athena made it quite obvious to Percy in Titan's Curse that she does not approve of his relationship with Annabeth. She has also told Annabeth in Heroes of Olympus that she does not approve of their relationship. But the fact that they both don't care is great. Like, I really appreciate that. Like, they're standing by their relationship. Like, come on, guys. Like, they're soulmates. How can anybody say that they can't be together? And Athena can bloody go to hell for that comment because I'm sorry, but they're cute. They belong together, so she can take her flipping hater ass out of this equation because I ain't listening. And, I'm happy that Percy and Annabeth don't care about anybody else's opinion on their relationship. And I think that's what Rick is trying to put out there. Like, if you are destined to be with somebody, like, it doesn't matter what anybody says. If you guys are happy and have a healthy relationship, you should just go on with it. And I love that. Yeah, so those are the top 7 Percabeth moments in Heroes of Olympus. Let me know what your guys' favorite Percabeth moments were in Heroes of Olympus. I know that they're not as dominant as they are in the first 5 books, but Rick gives you good moments to keep you going for the series, so I love that. Yeah, thanks, Rick, for torturing me in Heroes of Olympus as well. There's been times when I genuinely thought Percy and Annabeth weren't going to make it, and they did, so that's great. And I'm very happy with their relationship. Um, yeah, next episode, I believe, is the best of Percabeth and Chalice of the Gods. I think that's what I had planned. Yeah. So I know that we haven't read Chalice of the Gods together, but my plan is to put the best moments up first, and then I'm going to do what I did with every single book, which is talk you guys through a few chapters at a time. So those will kind of be the next episodes, but I'll give you more details on that closer to the time. So thank you guys so much for listening in. I really appreciate it. Episodes are available to stream on my Spotify and on my YouTube channel. Both are at Aamsuntitledpodcast. Do subscribe to my YouTube channel whilst you're there. It'd be very much appreciated. Follow me on Instagram, on Threads. I'm quite active. Well, quite active, she says. There. Feel free to DM me any questions, any content recommendations, and I will speak to you guys in the next episode. Mwah. Bye.